Hi, it's me. I thought you should know that this run is brought to you by XSplit. www.xsplit.com, powering broadcasting. There's a story about why I'm using XSplit, not OBS. It's a dumb story, I'm not going to tell it. Okay, so what happened was, I was going to do a stream, and I go to get my capture card, and install the driver for it, and it tells me that on Vista, I need Service Pack 1, and apparently I had Service Pack nothing. Now, why am I using Vista is a different question, and I can't be bothered to upgrade. That's why. So I go through all this trouble to get Service Pack 1. I know Service Pack 2 exists, but I don't get Service Pack 2 because it's a cheap capture card with presumably poorly written software. I didn't want to take my chances. I'm sure it would have worked just fine, but what do I need Service Pack 2 for? Nothing, right? So then I'm trying to set up XSplit, but it doesn't seem to like to associate the video and the audio together. In XSplit, I had to set up the audio as the microphone in order to get the audio from the capture card. But then I couldn't have my own microphone playing, so I was like, fine, I'll get OBS. I download OBS, I run the installer, it says, would you like to install Service Pack 2? I answered no to this question, and thus there is a watermark in the bottom right corner. I told you it was a dumb story. Then again, I also told you I wasn't going to tell it. And now at this point, I just can't be bothered to download anything. I guess I forgot to tell you that it took like an hour, at least. Maybe like 3 hours. I don't even remember. It was a long time installing Service Pack 1. I didn't have time to do that again if I wanted to stream it all that day. I record this on my VCR first. It saves me some hassle. And also I don't have to worry about my computer overheating in the middle of the run and losing my timer. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. In the middle of me trying to record this. It already feels pretty warm. Alright, so this is Junior Trooper Skip. I'm just kidding. That coin did not want to be my friends. The others were nice. But anyway, as a result of using the VCR, there's a flashy couple of pixels on the bottom right. I should probably just crop those out, and I imagine the quality takes a significant reduction. It's just easier for me this way. You can just hit record and not have to worry about whether or not your computer's... What's it doing? Is it hot? Gotta delete the file if the run doesn't work out. And you have to rewind the tape. It's easy to work with, okay? Don't have to explain myself to you. And there's the first uncanceled spin. I'm sure there'll be more of them. I just tap the A button too fast and just sort of rattle the button but don't actually push it. Or maybe I hit a lag frame, I wouldn't be surprised. Yes, there's something weird happened right there where I guess I flipped the joystick weird and it selected the blue guy again when I meant to select the red guy. And then, I guess, I forgot about this text as a result of that. That sort of thing where if it flipping back to the blue guy, it happened with Goombaro, you could get, you have to do an extra attack, but I don't know, this fight, you could screw it up, and you'd have to start over. That wouldn't be good. I forgot about that extra jump at the spring. You know, anytime I interact with that bush and hit the switch there on the first try is kind of a small miracle. What happened there was I tried to hit A to interact with the bush while I was coming down over that bump, and you can't interact with bushes while you're coming down over bumps. So it didn't work. And then I'm starting to hold left because that's where the switch is going to go. But then I push A again because it didn't work, but now I'm holding left. I'm not looking at the bush anymore and I jump an extra time. This kind of stuff happens to me too much. But that bush and that switch are some of the hardest things to interact with in the whole game, I'm telling you. How many runs have I just like hammered 3 times before I finally hit the damn switch? If you hear any like mic noise from me like adjusting my hands on the mic or whatnot, it's because I've got to hold it. I don't have a mic stand, and I have a mic on my headset, but it kind of buzzes a little bit, so you'll have to put up with the hand noise on the mic there. So I give this prologue like a 3 out of 10. Maybe that's being a little generous even. Could be a lot worse, I guess. Alright, so this trick coming up is called Black Toad Skip. Skips those black toads. I guess you could have told that from the name. First I have to use Ralph to clip. It's an NPC clip. I think it works by like, normally when you have an NPC and a wall close together, you squeeze himself in between. Squeeze yourself, Mario. Squeeze Mario in between. Usually the wall like wins. But if you do something that you're not supposed to normally be able to move, like a hammer, say, then the wall just kind of gives up for a little bit, and you can use the hammer to get through. I mean, the NPC pushes you through. And then you go over here, and then you have to walk this seam, and it's ridiculous to stay on this seam. It's so small and so precise of an angle that you have to hold. And by some miracle this run I walked all the way along it. without falling off at all. And that's what saved this prologue from being abysmal. Before the run, I spend like an hour just doing this trick until I get used to what the angle is, because every time you turn on your game, your controller is going to be at a slightly different position just based on how gravity is affecting it. That changes the angle significantly every single time. And this Koopa is in a terrible place. I've never actually had to jump him like that before. But it's really annoying before every run to have to calibrate your joystick. Once I jumped on a fuzzy here, without even trying. Like, I didn't even know that was possible. I don't even think I could jump on a fuzzy if I tried. Oh yeah. Splits. Maybe I should pay more attention to the timer there. Now, is it just me, or do these guys bounce for a really long time? That was 12 bounces on the slowest version of the little game here. Is that a lot of bounces? It seemed like a lot to me. I think I blinked on that last bounce. I wasn't totally sure he was over there. That Goomba was close. I nearly hammered him. I think the enemies were out to get me today. And then this guy, he's not even looking at me at all. I guess to go wait and ran past him. I didn't know you could hammer there. Does that waste time? This fright jar here has about a 90% chance to work on each of these enemies. So of course that means pretty much every run it fails. But not this run. So the next coming up is called Log Skip. When you go into a loading zone, it can't take you until you're on the ground for at least 2 frames. So if you go inside one and you jump on the first possible frame, then the loading zone won't get you until you miss one of these frame-perfect jumps. Now you can't just hold the joystick down as you do this. You have to release it, or else you're not going to be able to jump on the first possible frame. So you got to go jump, 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 and it would take about 20 jumps to get over to around where that tree is. And when you're far away from the loading zone, you spawn on the next screen so far off to the side that you just immediately fall out of bounds. Luckily I found this little setup here to stay, it was magic, okay? We did it. I just realized I totally forgot to mention stair switch skip. I was going to explain it. Back in the fortress, you can skip that key. But you normally have to go through a bunch of rooms of Koopas and use fright jars, and the fright jars always fail. But there's a fence at the bottom of the stairs, and it has this... It looks like a pretty small fence, but the collision extends all the way up to the top of the second highest stair. And it's a one-way collision. You can jump off the stairs, but that wall won't let you jump back on. Now if you jump off the top stair and land right on the collision, it'll push you into the stairs. Please try to get this letter without Cooper on the Japanese version. There is a clip out of bounds on this screen, but it's ridiculously difficult, and then the seams, they're not the same collisions they do on the English version. So you can't get it on Japanese like you can on English. So try and figure out a way, that'd be nice. It'd really only save time in the tool-assisted speedrun though, because to actually get to the Koopa Brothers fortress without Cooper is insane. Split. Maybe I'll remember the next one. I should mention that pretty much every significant event that you're required to do to beat the game is stored in this game in a single variable. So if you manage to do something later in the game, then everything that you're supposed to have to do before it automatically assumes you've completed it. So the Bad Shop opens after Chapter 1, but since I've been to Chapter 2, it opens itself for me. Earlier, you noticed after I did Stair Switch Skip, the stairs weren't up anymore after I got gone back. They were down, so I had to climb them. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. If those stairs stayed up, then in all cards you could also skip that key. But as it stands right now, you need it to beat the chapter. And since there are no triggers that we can use to get back into chapter 1, can't skip it that way either. Anyway, I've been collecting coins to get a badge from this shop here. There's 4 badges available after chapter 1, but only 3 of them in the shop, so you got a 75% chance of it being there. Usually for me it's there for some reason, but when it's not, it takes like 3rd try. Like both runs I've done where it wasn't there, it was 3rd try. I say both, but there was a 3rd one where it was 2nd try, but we'll just pretend that never existed. Just to make it sound more interesting. Anyway, this is Blue House Skip. It took me 6 tries. It's kind of normal. I'd like to get a fast one someday, but we're moving. For 1 frame, there's a little piece of collision. The game thinks that you're standing, so you can jump. Of course, it's like loading zone storage. It's the same thing. If you're holding a direction, you can't jump, so you gotta let go of the joystick. Then hit A, and then you gotta get yourself into the house again. I do setup lists because I don't like the setup. So I got a badge earlier called Power Bounce. It claims that you can bounce until you miss an action command, but it's lying. There is a maximum, and it's random within some range, which varies depending on which enemy you're bouncing on. I just got 11. Before you can get between 8 and 17. That's the range that I've gotten, but I've heard it goes into the 20s. I've forgotten that many. You need at least an average of 11.5 to be able to skip the 3rd turn on this fight. So of course I got another 11 bounce right here. Hey. This is a really annoying sort of way to lose time. That's actually the 4th 11 bounce I got in a row. Last run that got this far. I also got 2 of them. So this is Yoshi Skip. If you paracarry into some weird collision, paracarry will, like, as he's rising up, he tries to, like, climb the ground. So he, like, sort of climbs this tree, and then he can carry you over the top. And then I just gotta navigate out of bounds into the volcano. That particular method doesn't work on the English version. They changed the position of the tree, they added some invisible walls back there. So you have to do a much more difficult method, but at least it's still possible. If it weren't possible, the English version would be a huge disadvantage. If you move really fast in this room, you can make it to the platform. You have to spin on each of these platforms and then jump right at the right time at the very end. It wastes a lot of time to miss that. Alright, this glitch, because it's totally a glitch. I guess we call it the lava skip now. It's not half-baked anymore. You have to do a not very precise jump. I failed it once, though. And then you don't have to push those blocks. And normally you'd think you'd be stuck forever when you do this glitch, because it's totally a glitch. Totally. But when you get that chest, the Ultra Boots are a trigger, which makes the game think that this is how far you progress into the game, and as a result, it auto-completes the previous puzzle. And I fell into the lava there, but at least it wasn't in one of the previous rooms, like going for the one cycle or whatever. This guy here can be in your road sometimes, but he was nice this time. I get hit by these fire bars so that I'm invisible and the fire bubbles can't get me. And it doesn't waste time because I have to get to this platform anyway. So anyway, when you use paracarry, the game doesn't run its normal collision detection until you let go. So if you use them into a corner, you can clip slightly into the wall until you let go of paracarry, and then the wall will push you out. But that slight clip into the wall is just enough to be able to touch that loading zone while the wall's still there. Or at least that's how I'm guessing that works. There's another NPC clip here. Like, who would have thought that this and Lava Planet Fight were on the same screen? I had no idea. I was just looking at some maps one day, trying to plan a 100% route, which is a category that doesn't exist anymore, apparently. And I saw that they were the same screen, and I was like, man, maybe this is possible after all. And it took Bone Crusher about 30 seconds to actually find the skip. Fighting Lava Planet would be really slow, so I'm glad we skip him. Wow. Maybe I'll remember the next split. So if you just mash A through this quiz, you actually win. So I answered the last question wrong, so it ends up a draw and nobody wins a jam and jelly. It would technically be faster to duplicate rather than to go and collect this repel gel, but duplication can be a bit of a pain, so I just go and get it. I figure if I actually tried to dodge this fuzzy, he'd probably just get me every time. So I just spin straight at him and hopefully he jumps over me. And he usually does. So coming up is the hardest trick in the run. It's lackluster early. It starts off with a clip that works sort of like Blue House Skip. So you don't actually have to do the frame perfect jump if you get in the right position. And then you have to do a lot of out of bounds navigation, and then you have to do another log skip like I did earlier, only it's about 10 times as precise. And then after you pull that off, there's some more out of bounds movement you gotta do. It's a pretty complicated trick. The most precise part of it is the fall angle for the very first fall and log skip, so I spend a lot of time buffering that to make sure I get it right. In this run, I think this trick went pretty fast. I don't think you could do it much faster unless you did frame perfect jumps. But I don't like frame perfect jumps, so let's not do them. You gotta get yourself right on the very edge of this seam before you try and get this first fall angle, or else you're just not gonna be able to get the angle you want without moving along the seam. And then the second fall goes straight right, so if you move along the seam, you won't be able to fall off straight to the right in one frame. The loading zone will get you. Then you have to let go of up, right, up, left, right there, right as he bounces, so that you'll land exactly on the seam. I'm gonna remember the split, I think. And you can basically ignore any inaccuracies here, because I definitely started at the same time I hit A, and I definitely stopped at the right time. Last minute route change here. I picked up this stinky herb. I used to pick up a sleepy sheep. I just need to get some random item to pick up to use for duping later on. But the sleepy sheep is like yellow, so it was hard for me to spot 1 pixel of white sparkle. It told me that I had the wrong frame. So last run I lost a bunch of time because I failed it twice like that. So I switched the route around so I could have an item to use for duping, which was a lot more obvious whether or not you hit the right frame. Now it would technically save me 1 second if I went and got the Ultra Boots right now. But I only have 3 HP, so everything in there would destroy me in 1 hit. So I'm not going there now. Here it's obviously faster to ride lackluster across the lava than to wait for that platform. You can't make a 1 cycle like you did before because there's no Colorado cutscene while the platform is moving. It's actually about 2.5 seconds faster to ride this first platform, but you have to dodge the fire bars to make it worth it. And if you dodge them, then those fire bubbles could get you. And it's kind of rare that they get you, but they can just decide to get you. It would save 5 seconds overall because I come through here twice, right? So this is the first lackluster clip. Some corners are weak. You just sort of stand in them, wedge yourself in there a little bit, turn around, and then lackluster takes you out of bounds. Or inside a building, or whatever it is you're clipping. When you fall out of bounds like this and you have to respawn, it's kind of picky sometimes to get yourself to respawn where you want to. And this one is a lackluster trapping clip. You get them stuck behind some sort of wall. And then when you get on him, he tries to come to you and he doesn't really know how to do it. So he ends up out of bounds if you do it right. And the point of all this was to beat Chapter 5 again, only it doesn't really beat Chapter 5. All the eruption cutscene does is take you outside Peach's castle, and then Peach's castle decides what cutscene to play. based on your game state, and right now it thinks I'm supposed to be beating Chapter 6. So it's gonna assume that it's Chapter 6 that I actually beat. Well, that's just my guess at how it works. All of this I'm just sort of guessing, but I don't know, it sounds right to me. Bit of a frame saver if you use the guy up these stairs to transform into these guys, but if you get too close, he might see you. So now Chapter 6 is completed. And thankfully the beanstalk automatically has grown itself, so I can go up and get a pretty useful badge. So you notice how that cloud is on its way down right now? It's a little bit faster, about like a second, to reload the area, and now the cloud is already on its way back up. The Ultra Boots, this is where they would save a second. I could jump about now to get off of that cloud instead of having to wait for it to rise just a little bit higher. Use the Ultra Boots and just sort of clip up through the middle of that big cloud. I don't have them because I'm not suicidal. And I'm going the wrong way. Where am I going? I still need the Ultra Boots, and that wasted about 12 seconds. Man, this life room is pretty tricky to get. Flipping into the bottom here, like I do, isn't 100% consistent, but it's close. Sometimes you'll just randomly fail it though. But there is a way you could clip into the top that works every time. It's just, when you get up there, it's really annoying to get down to the bottom. So now chapter 7's done. And we're going to go into the final chapter at level 2. That's kind of ridiculous. I guess we'll have to figure something out though. I upgrade Parakarry here solely because his attacks are so much faster than everybody else's. Technically, you could get by just fine with just Bombette upgraded. But Parakarry is so much faster that it's worth it to upgrade him and to switch to him and to use him instead. It's only a couple seconds, but I mean, you might as well do it. I upgrade Bombette here because I want to use Power Bomb. That's a strong all enemies attack. And it's so fast to upgrade these guys that there's no real point in trying to think of some alternative. I need some experience to be able to get by without killing the crew patrols, say. And it's not worth it to get into some other encounter in order to make that up. And then still you have to figure out a way to get the experience without using Power Bomb. My computer's really hot now. Not much longer. Hang in there, computer. This is block clip. When you get like a diagonal facing block like this, you can use the Ultra Boots to clip up on top of it like that. Then you paracarry over here and you can get back without having to do the harden the lava and do that dark section of the basement. I'm really glad we don't have to go through that in the dark. You can sort of see you turn your brightness up, but you know it'd still be a real pain. Try and find a way to get to this key, like, just clip directly straight up to it. That'd be really nice. It would save time in any category, of course. And, make some real progress to skipping Ultra Boots and all cards. Anyway, I don't have sushi yet, but luckily Lackluster's better anyway. But if you don't need the Ultra Boots there, then you don't need them. You could go through the basement normally. Just an example. Like, there are other ways you could potentially skip the Ultra Boots, or skip the uses of the Ultra Boots, or something. Anything would be nice. Because if you don't need the Ultra Boots, then you don't need to keep the Ultra Hammer, and you can do a Chapter 2 route that's 4.5 minutes faster. So, anything. Anyway, this is an item dupe. It only works in Japanese version. The 2 frames before you collect an item, you can open the menu and do something glitchy. I need the first of those 2 frames. That was the second one, you can tell because of the little white dot. And the magic of the trick is, if you throw away an item while you don't have 10 items, the game gets confused as to which item it should throw away. So I wait for the item to be totally consumed. And then I throw away this repel gel and it actually diluted the stinky herb. And now I have an extra repel gel. Now that repel gel isn't strictly necessary to get. It's just a safe strat, but it's the best safe strat I could think of. You need something. At least like in the early days of any percent here. It's nice to have a safe strat. This wall here actually has 1 pixel where you can just walk through it. Most people Lackluster clip down, but I hate that clip, and I think that looks faster to me anyway. This is Cannonless. It's another one of those finicky Lackluster clips where you gotta respawn in the right place after falling out of bounds. I don't know, it's finicky. They'll say, oh, you just gotta stand in the right pixel, and the first time I was too far out, and the second time it was too far in. They'd be right, but doesn't mean it's not finicky. Lost about 17 seconds to this. So after you clip, then you gotta do a little bit of a precise, not really precise at all, movement to get on the back seam to avoid the rest of the cannons. This is why it is called Cannonless. This guy can sometimes get you. He was really close in this run. Look at that. Now I switched to Bombat here for no reason. Just waste a couple seconds. But it's in case this Hammer Brothers up here gets me. There's a strategy to dodge him, but that also wastes a couple seconds. So it's like pick your couple seconds. And I switched to Bombat just in case he gets me. Then I'll kill him instead of the Duper Ghost, which again is a couple seconds. So pick your seconds. I picked the one that didn't result in me have to learn how to dodge that guy. It looked tricky. It looked like the sort of thing if I actually tried it, I'd just fail it every time anyway. So this is only a couple seconds slower than if I were to kill the Duper Ghost later. It's because you can't kill the Duper Ghost in one turn, so you have to wait for them all to attack you. So right here on this equip, I failed to unpause right away, so I started trying to spin, and I hit Z, and I noticed that the cursor went back to the top of the menu. I didn't notice this until I watched the run back. Like, I didn't know it was possible. I knew that if you didn't have enough badges to make a full page, that you couldn't use R to scroll to the bottom, but I didn't know that you could just still use L, or Z, depending on which version you're using, to scroll straight to the top. So you'll see later that I do an equip slower than I have to because I scroll all the way back up. A couple runs ago, I wasn't paying attention and I answered this question wrong. That's like a horrible way to lose a run. Ridiculous. I didn't know the answer to the rest of the questions, but I remembered Pi saying in Summer Games that he thought it would be the third answer since it was never the third answer. So I just ruled out the third answer. I didn't answer it, but it turns out it really was the third answer. Luckily, I guessed the last question right. It was second answer. I didn't have to fight the anti-guys, but that run was basically dead. I mean, it still had a chance to PB, which is terrible, but it did. But the final fights didn't cooperate. And I didn't like the way that guy was moving, so I decided I was going to go above him, and of course he immediately turned around and started walking back up. So then he just started chugging hammers, so I decided to try my luck and just run past him. That encounter with the Hammer Brothers back there, since it only wasted a couple seconds, I'm basically planning for him to get me or to not get me anyway. I'm not really considering that an extra encounter. So I'm just going to go ahead and pretend this run was encounter-free. And that was another drop spin cancel. And the thing about not killing the Hammer Brothers earlier is that I don't kill these guys. I gotta use up and away, but there's a chance that I could fail. And if it does, it's like a 30+ second time loss. It's horrible. It usually doesn't fail, but it sometimes does, and when it does, it's horrible. But on the reverse of that, if these guys attack me, and they all decide to attack me, none of them transform, I'll lose a life shroom, which that's bad. You want all the life shrooms you can get. And I guess on the reverse of the reverse, they could all decide to transform, and then I could kill them quickly, since if you use Power Bomb on a transformed Dupligos, they just instantly explode. Luckily they all went away on me, so I didn't lose any extra time. So the strategy for this guy is just to charge up a big power bounce. I use Chill Out and Whack his Bumps to survive long enough. I'm gonna do a few shell shots to get his health low enough so I can kill him in a reasonable number of bounces. Now I got a close call earlier and I put it on with hopes that maybe this attack would miss and save me a life shroom. It didn't. It's funny when you get a close call on this guy, he like trips. You need 5 bounces to kill him. If you get 4, it's kind of a significant time loss. Pretty annoying. But I got 5 this run. If you got that close call and then got 4, that'd be pretty horrible. Because then you'd probably lose your life stream even though you got the close call. See right here, I could have used that. Wait, no. Next equip. Sorry. It's next equip, I could use that. I'm not gonna bother pointing at it again. The hallway boss fight in this raid is extremely tight. If it goes according to plan, you survive with 1 HP, and you kill him exactly. For it to go according to plan, you need to not get the Fire Breath on this first attack. Because if you get it, it does too much damage, you won't be able to survive. And when you don't survive, you lose danger, so you lose your +2 attack boost. So you have to do a Starstorm for 7 instead of a jump for 8. And that 1 damage is enough to allow him to survive. See, right now he's not giving me the fire, so that's nice. Allows him to survive, and then what he does immediately afterwards is heal. And then the fight takes like 2 minutes longer. But But just because he didn't give me the fire breath, I'm not out of the woods yet. I still have to block all of his attacks. The claw is a really tricky block. I have a really hard time blocking that. And also, I guess the wave could come out and you have to block that with your partner. Now, I'd like to charge up a big power bounce for this guy like I did on Junior Trooper, but I don't have enough FP to do that. And in order to charge up enough to really do any extra damage by charging like that. Unless I took a turn to heal some FP, but if I do that, he'll be able to wave me before I can bounce him, and he probably will. So, if you get hit by the wave, it removes all your positive status boosts, like charges, so you would get destroyed. Now there's an extremely risky strategy you could use, which saves nearly 50 seconds or so, where you use timeout on turn 1, which only has about a 25% chance to work, and then that would give you enough time to charge, so you can do your power bounce. But that's really risky, and if you get capped early, it could end up being for nothing. Anyway, luckily I got out of that fight with all my items intact. Sometimes when that fight's not going according to plan, I'll use the extra repel gel I had. And that'll save me back a lot of the time I would have lost. Or you could use a life stream, of course. But if I can keep my repel gel and my life stream, then I can play this fight a little bit safer. Look at me scrolling up. So in the first phase of this fight, the damage you do carries over into the second phase. So I'm going to start off with a charge. Shell Shot, Bowser here is so huge you can't even miss. And of course it's the claw. It's a really good thing I blocked that because it would have cost me a life stream for nothing. I have to do exactly 3 power bounces, so I stop at 3. If I do him any more damage at all than this, then he'll have low enough HP that he'll want to heal in the next phase. So, if I were to do any more damage, it would defeat the purpose of damaging him at all, because he would just heal it all right back. So the final boss fight coming up. There's about a million things that could go wrong. The general idea is I'm just going to charge up a really big power bounce. I couldn't think of another way to kill him quickly. But he has his attack. It's called the wave. It's the wave of mutilation. If you get hit by it, you're done. It removes all of your charges. I have repel gels. It's the only way to avoid getting hit by the wave. I have to guess when it's coming out and use it then. The first turn that it can come out is turn 4. And when you're charging, it basically, he really wants to remove those charges. It provokes him, so it makes him very likely to use it right away. However, on turn 4, I'm going to remove Peach Beam right away on turn 1. Use Star Shield, I'm going to use Peach Beam. So he's going to want to use Star Shield again 3 turns later on turn 4, and that tends to override his preference for using Wave. So he'll probably use Star Shield on turn 4. I have an extra Repel Gel, so I'm just going to use the Repel Gel on turn 4 anyway. Just in case he does use it. Now you could do that even without the extra Repel Gel, but because he's probably going to use Star Shield on turn 4, you kind of want to wait to use it to give yourself the best chance. And then again, he's going to use it again a couple turns later. Probably on turn 6 or 7. And I got to be invisible again for that. Or 7 or 8, I don't know, whatever. I just got to be invisible again because he can use... You're safe from the wave for 2 turns after he uses it, but then he could use it again. He'll probably use it again. You got to be invisible again. So, the general idea is use Repel Gels when you think you can use the wave. And you just take hits and tank life shrooms when you know he can't. And hopefully you avoid the wave. Hopefully you can make your blocks too, because you don't want to lose extra life shrooms. And then hopefully you can make it all the way to your power bounce at the end of the fight. Now I have close call on. It can sometimes save me life shrooms, but in some cases it could actually screw you over because you need to have danger on the last turn in order to power bounce. Or else you won't have enough damage to heal him. So this is the first turn you could use Wave. I put on the Repel Gel. I'm doing nothing with Parakarry because like I said, I can't do any damage. He's using Star Shield like he usually does. And then we're going to see what he does with the wave. It's probably going to come out right away, and it does. I don't bother blocking it with my partner here because I'm doing nothing with him anyway, so it's probably faster just to skip having to do nothing. And now he's charged up, and I'm just going to take hits. He's going to do a ton of damage, and it's going to kill me immediately every single time. But to remove that charge takes a really long time, longer than using these life shrooms. And then you could use it again, so now you're predicting again when he's going to use Star Shield. So it's better just to leave him powered up. I would leave him powered up from the start if I could have enough life shrooms to do that consistently, but that can only happen if you get the close call back on your Troopa. So now he can use the wave again. So I'm going to put another Repel Gel on. Seems like I'm not going to need that third one, but it's nice to have. I'll go ahead and block with Parakarry now, just in case I get 4 caps, and then he throws out the wave afterwards. I would need to block it then, and I don't know, it just gives me 2 chances to block it, I guess. So now I use Peach Beam, I'm ready to bounce. I just need to block this next attack so that I'll have danger. And then I'll bounce him. Shit. Well, the wave's coming next, so I put on my last repel. And there it is. I block it for no reason. I don't need paracarry anymore. There's nothing you can do. I got nothing better to do, so I charge. And now I have a choice. If I let him attack me to try and get into danger, he's probably going to Star Shield next. That wastes a bunch of time. He's probably going to wave immediately after, so I'm going to bounce him. I need 5. And I got 5. If I had gotten less than 5, since I'm not in danger, he would probably heal next turn. So, I got lucky there. I remember that split, but I didn't have X split, W split in focus. I don't know why I need it in focus while I'm running X split, but apparently I do. Now, I mean, if I had made that block, I would have gotten different RNG on the power bounce. Maybe I would have gotten 3 capped. Maybe I would have gotten 4 capped, which probably wouldn't even been any faster than this, so it's hard to say what would have happened. But as it was, it did waste about 30 seconds over having made that block and then getting 5 bounces. So on this last split here, I lost 3 seconds. And my movement at the end was absolutely fine. There was absolutely no reason for me to have lost 3 seconds there. None whatsoever. So I rushed it back. I compared this run and my previous run. I got a split screen, I had it synced right at the start. And between getting the Star Rod and doing the Luigi skip, I lost 2.5 seconds in the cutscene due to lag. And the whole run, I kind of felt like I was disappointed in my splits. Like, I felt I did better than what the time was saying. And I was wondering, I figured it was probably all in my head, but now after seeing that, I'm not so sure my game wasn't just completely lagging the whole time. It could cost me almost a minute throughout the course of the run if it was happening at that same rate the whole time. What do I do about this lag? Yeah, you got any suggestions? Is it my Wiimote charger? Should I unplug it? Is it because it's hot? Because it's in a sort of confined area? I should unblock my vents? Is it because I've got like a dozen things plugged into the same outlet as it? Or is it just because the lightning decided to randomly occur in different places this time? Why was it lagging so much harder? Kind of put a damper on the whole run for me to lose 3 seconds on a split where I thought I might even save one. Anyway, thanks for watching my run. Bye.